Hello everyone, this is Josh from CollectionDX with another review. This time it's the Sentinel Giant Gorg. Now, I think I've said in the past, who really needs a $340 die-cast Giant Gorg? I didn't think I needed one. But I ordered one on a whim, and I have to say, it is an amazing figure. It is just the craftsmanship in this thing alone. Even if you're not a huge Gorg fan, you are going to be stunned when you handle this piece. It looks like it just jumped right out of the cartoon. And I was not familiar with the Giant Gorg cartoon. There were 7 or so episodes fan subbed out there that I ended up watching because of this. And it is actually a really interesting cartoon that I am anxious to see the full series of. And I think maybe Discotech Media has picked up the series. So, yeah, look out for it. It's really, really cool. The animation's really good quality. And it was an interesting, not at all what I thought it was going to be about type story. Unfortunately, where I only saw 7 episodes, it's a little slow to get in, so I don't even know exactly what Gorg's what his deal is. He seems to be, at this point from what I've seen, somewhat sentient, and but he does have a pilot, or room for a pilot, and he does bond with this boy who goes on an adventure searching for his dad. And yeah, it's interesting. So let's go through some of the different parts here of Gorg, and I can kind of show you the details on why this is a $340 piece and why I think it's worth it. The head of Gorg is fully articulated, as you can see here, and it has a little button on the top that makes his eyes light up. Supposedly that's angry mode. I'm not sure if that's angry mode. But you can also put the little figure up in his head like he rides around in the show, which is cool. So Gorg's shoulders are interesting. First you have this outer covering that you notice is actually like rubber. And this allows for some good flexibility. You can see that there's a little track in here. But you'll notice that you can actually pull the joint out, push the joint in for more motion. See that it's a swivel, it's a ball swivel. I mean, there's just a lot of articulation in there. And this piece also has a hinge. Notice how tight everything is. The fit and finish, really remarkable on this piece. A lot of the outer coating is plastic, but inside that you can tell that there's a huge die-cast heavy internal skeleton going on here. Moving on to the elbows, really just beautiful elbows. You know, not double, I mean, I guess it is double jointed, but it's just very rigid and firm and tight, like a Swiss watch or something. It's hard to explain what's great about this. If you've ever had or seen any of the Giant Gorg toys before, you know that the chest opens up. And there's been various different approaches in the toy of the year of what to do with the chest, so you don't really know what's going on. Sometimes it's a holographic sticker. In one case it was a watch. In Digital Gorg it was basically a clock. This case the doors do fully open, and it's kind of hard to see, but if you can see properly, there is what looks like a pilot on one side and an empty seat on the other. So once again, I have not gotten that far in Gorg. However, there is a part in Gorg where the kid, Gorg opens up his chest and shows the kid that there's this pilot in there, but the pilot's dead. He's been dead, and he just sort of crumbles when he's exposed to the atmosphere. So that's kind of, I think, what we're seeing there is that crumbled pilot, whoever that mystery pilot is. The waist is really nice. Full range of motion here. You could do a lot with Gorg. And he remains sturdy and solid. Gorg's hips are interesting in that there are many things going on here. First of all, this outer skirt is a flexible rubber. It's very thick though, but it can move, and that's really to get the extreme poses out of Gorg. You can see here you have motion there, out. It's rather nice, I'll admit. Once again, very heavy. I want to say maybe this is metal. It's hard to say, but you can get some really good dynamic poses out of them. Just make sure you get these, put these back sort of in a natural place when you're done. This is also a kind of rubbery material as well, but it's a very firm rubber. It's not flimsy. It's not going to tear or anything like that, I don't think. Once again, you've got really nice knee joints. Oh, of course, I blocked the knee joint here. That also extend a little bit. So you get a pretty good range of motion. I tried doing the kneeling pose as shown in the box. It's somewhat successful. It doesn't look exactly right. For the feet, we have a articulated toe. And no detail on the bottom, really. But you do have a good range of movement. And it does extend a little bit. So you can kind of see what's going on inside the joint there. So there's a lot you can do with it. What I like about Gorg is pretty much no matter where you put him, he stays. Gorg's hands are exceptional. They are fully articulated fingers and fully articulated thumb. They swivel and hinge at the wrist. There are also extra hands, and the removal is really easy. See, there's just a peg there, and just place the new hand on. So if you wanted the more static hand for holding the weapon, you could use that. You will also get your basic fists. And what is nice is that, let me zoom out here for a moment, you get a little plunger plug thing to attach all your extra hands to when you're not using them. That's nice. On the back of, you have these laser cannons that fit onto Gorg's back. To do that, you have to do a couple things. First is you remove the panel, like so, and you take out the center portion. So now you can see that it's hollow. And essentially you place the gun in that spot and reattach. Now for the hose, there's actually a small hole the hose goes into right there. And you do that for both. So Gorg looks great with his laser cannons on. I'm sure he could hold them in his hands if he wanted to. There is a little movable tab on each cannon that does something. But the big weapon you always see is this giant gun that Gorg always has. Which in this, it's a very impressive gun. So let's look at that now. So Gorg's cannon has a few cool details. One has a clip in which you have a little sort of bullets or projectiles. That doesn't actually do anything, it's just for show. The same here, you have kind of a loading pin that, once again, doesn't do anything, just for show. Nice little hard wire on the side. But here's where it gets interesting. Okay. You can take the barrel off, and included with the set are 3 actual missiles. You can see here that clicks into place. You reattach the barrel, and when you press the button, boom, projectile launch. Let's see that again. So you just load it, and there's the button. So think of the significance of this here. It's been, how many years since the rebirth of the modern Chogokin? I don't know, almost 20 years or so. And, one of the things we've always clamored for is actual shooting deadly projectiles. And we rarely get them, if we get them at all. And Gorg comes out of the gate with a working, firing cannon. And I think that's fantastic. I really, really appreciate that. I think it's just filled me with glee when I saw that happen. So here we have the 3 figures that come with the set. You have the protagonist, you, and he's basically designed to ride on the roof of Gorg. Then you have, I think her name is Doris. She doesn't like to stand at all. I thought maybe she was, she had the hand out to maybe rest against the dog. I'm not sure how she reacts with Gorg yet, because they haven't met, so maybe it's for her riding on top as well. And then there's the dog Argus. The dog Argus is kind of awesome. And this is a Japanese anime thing, and this might get weird for some of you, but bear with me. But in American cartoons, we like to pretend that our animals do not have genitals. Okay? It's just a big bald spot where there should be, stuff. Japanese cartoons, especially in the 80s, always would draw them. They would draw the buttholes of cats, they draw the balls of cats, they draw the balls of dogs, and Argus is no exception. And I don't know if it's like a tribute or something, but yes, he has fully sculpted genitalia on the bottom of him. So it's just like, another crazy like cultural thing that we're like, whoa, the dog's got stuff on him. But Japan, this is no big deal. It's a dog, What are you going to do? So, I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting thing to notice. So, to sum it up, Giant Gorg is awesome. He's made by Sentinel. He's $340 some odd. He is heavy. He is tight. He's machined like crazy. This is a gorgeous piece that I fell in love with that I didn't think I was gonna. This sample comes courtesy of angles.com, so you can get that there. There's also an additional version called the Dox Manon Guardian type, which I have not encountered in the show yet. It's a little different design, but I'm sure it shares a lot of the same parts, so it's probably logical for them to do it. So, but if you can get the original Gorg, get him. He's brilliant. He's really good. I've had 0 problems with him. I found 0 flaws with him. I've really enjoyed the experience of handling him, and I think you will too. This is Josh from CollectionDX. See you next time.